Hello and welcome to ARIRANG News Break on this Wednesday, May 11th. I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. Our top story this afternoon, senior government officials and the heads of Korea's biggest business groups gathered at a forum in Seoul to share the results of President Park Geun-hye's recent state visit to Iran. Speaking at the forum, President Park said the lucrative agreements reached with Tehran must function as momentum to boost Korea's economic growth.
새로운 시장을 개척하는 노력이 더욱 강화되어야 하겠습니다. 도행지성이라는 옛말처럼 없던 길을 우리가 먼저 다니면서 만들어 가야 합니다.
The Korean leader also called on smaller companies and startups to actively participate in overseas business opportunities. She emphasized the potential of new export items in the smart city, e-commerce, and energy-related sectors. President Park and her delegation returned home from the three-day trip to Iran at the beginning of the month with scores of MOUs worth a combined $37 billion. The deals mainly focus on rebuilding Iran's infrastructure. A big political meeting is on the schedule for this afternoon. The floor leaders of Korea's three main political parties will meet in just about 2 hours to discuss how to run and form the 20th assembly that begins at the end of the month. Ruling Saenuri Party floor leader Chung Jin-seok, his main opposition Minju Party counterpart Woo Sang-ho, and Park Ji-won of the minor opposition People's Party are scheduled to meet for the first time since they won their respective posts. Topping the agenda is how to allocate the leadership posts of the Assembly's 18 standing committees. The most coveted posts are National Assembly Speaker and the chair of the Judiciary Committee, as both are considered to have a special leverage over legislative activities. The Minju Party, which will hold the largest number of seats, is expected to recommend one of its lawmakers to take the Speaker's seat. And if realized, it'll be the first time an opposition party member is named the National Assembly Speaker in 14 years. The Saenuri Party will likely seek to chair the Judiciary Committee. The chance of North Korea conducting a fifth nuclear test to mark the ruling Workers' Party Congress seems to have dimmed, according to latest satellite analysis of the North's nuclear test site. Some experts say personnel changes at the Congress may indicate a migration away from nuclear development. Kwon So-ah reports.
It didn't happen before the 7th Workers' Party Congress. And it may not happen anytime soon. The latest analysis from North Korea monitoring website 38 North suggests a nuclear test is not on the horizon. Satellite imagery of movements at the North's Punggye-ri test site from May 8th show low levels of activity at the main portals, and vehicles at the command center that were present on May 5th are no longer there. The possibility of a nuclear test was also debated among U.S. experts on Tuesday during a discussion organized by 38 North. President and founder of the Institute for Science and International Security, David Albright, said it's impossible to predict the timing of North Korea's next nuclear test. He added there are indications Pyongyang is preparing for a test, but it's hard to know when the regime will, quote, push the button, as the North has made it difficult to determine from outside if a test is going to happen today, tomorrow, or next month. Another expert said Kim Jong-un's nuclear ambitions may have made a turn since the Congress.
We got some things that suggest that he might start leaning a little bit away from the nuclear. Military is strong enough, in ideology we're strong enough, but we have to work on the economy.
The scholar also mentioned that Kim's offer of military talks with Seoul, which he made at the Congress, is important. He cited South Korea-U.S. joint military exercises slated for August as saying they would increase tensions again, and even worse could happen. South Korea, however, made clear that it thought the North Korean leader's proposal was insincere and that talks can only happen with denuclearization first. Kwon So-ah, ARIRANG News.
Some mixed signs in Korea's job market. Korea's overall unemployment rate fell in April from the month before, but the youth jobless rate remains stubbornly high. Shin Se-min with the details.
Statistics Korea says the country's jobless rate dropped to 3.9% in April, logging a consecutive monthly fall after hitting a 2016 high in February. The agency attributed last month's drop to more jobs being added in the accommodation and retail sectors. But job creation fell last month from the month before, adding just 252,000 new jobs from the 300,000 in March. That puts the total number of employed people in Korea at around 26.2 million. The climate for Korea's young people remains grim. The youth unemployment rate was 10.9% last month. That's down from 11.8% the previous month, but last month's figure is still a record high for the month of April. The agency said the high figures in the early months of the year can be largely attributed to it being the annual recruitment season when graduates take civil service tests.
The large number of graduates seeking jobs after leaving university pushes up the jobless rate in that age bracket, but it also raises the employment rate as well.
Youth employment numbers have been hovering above 41% since 2013. The figure hit 41.8% in April, up 0.7 percentage point on year. The agency is optimistic the upward trend of employment will continue as it expects the government's efforts to boost domestic spending and consumer sentiment to be reflected on the jobs front. Shin Se-min, ARIRANG News.
Korea has confirmed its fifth Zika case in a man who returned home last week from the Philippines. The man, 39, is known to have been bitten by a mosquito during a week-long business trip there. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the patient had a rash and muscle ache starting Monday and tested positive for the virus the next day. The man is now in stable condition but is set to undergo further treatment at Gangwon National University Hospital. Korea has seen 5 Zika cases so far, 3 of which were found in people who traveled to the Philippines, 1 to Brazil and 1 to Vietnam. And that does it for now. Thank you for watching. More domestic and global news updates coming up at 6 p.m. Korea time here on ARIRANG.